Today's video shows why I think the court acts as an auction house and it sells justice to the highest bidder, which in my case was the NHS and the NHS lawyers DAC Beachcroft. To recap, in 2011 I fell down a flight of stairs. Barnsley Hospital misread an x-ray, so they didn't pick up the second dislocation, and then 6 months later they misread a CT scan that the fibular fracture hadn't healed. My foot didn't move, but I was told by Barnsley Hospital to keep on walking, so I kept on walking. By 2019, I had irreversibly damaged all the tendons in my hips because I'd been walking on a foot that didn't move. That is the reason I'm crowdfunding, because sadly, because of the damage to my hips, I can't physically travel to and from the court every day. So why did the auctioneer, Judge Roberts, refuse to hear my application to exclude the flawed evidence of the orthopedic surgeon Paul Cook? Well, he did that because Dr. Paul Cook was the defendant's medical expert, and his claim of a treatment to the dislocation of the calcaneum was contradicted by both of the defendant's medical witnesses, who quite clearly state they gave treatment to the talonavicular joint. If Judge Roberts had have excluded the medical evidence of Paul Cook, then the defendants would have had to have acknowledged they did something wrong, because there was actually a 1,700 day delay to diagnosis and 2,615 days to treatment, not the 4-day delay to diagnosis and 6-day delay to treatment as claimed by the liar Paul Cook. If it wasn't bad enough that there was a dislocation that hadn't been put back into place, there was also a fibular fracture that hadn't healed, but I told it had been healed. So Judge Roberts had to ignore the evidence from the defendant's own radiology expert, who said that the fibular fracture had partially healed in 2012, when the original CT scan quite clearly says healed fibular fracture noted. The hospital records show that the fibular fracture didn't go on to heal, and that there was but 4,000 days after discharge, the defendant's witnesses said that the fibular fracture was adequately healed, and they said this retrospectively, but the third witness from the defendant said it was united. Judge Roberts had to ignore the evidence, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to justify dismissing my medical claim as having no prospect of success, and then rewarding the lies and denials and bad behaviour of the NHS lawyers DAC Beachcroft with £70,000. I'm not going to accept this injustice. It's outrageous. So I have appealed, but in order to appeal, you need to have a transcript of the judgment. That's mandatory. Government website says that this transcript is available online. I've checked. It isn't available online. The court has refused to give me a copy of the transcript for free, and they have declined it on the illogical ground that it's for the Court of Appeal, not the High Court, to determine this, where CPR 52.14.2b is if it's in the interest of justice. Of course it's in the interest of justice for me to get this transcript, A, and B, I actually filed my appeal with the Court of Appeal. You might think, why am I so passionate about this? The reason is I can't save myself. The damage I live with and pain I live with is avoidable, but I can save other people, and that has really been what this complaint journey has been about. 7 NHS hospitals, all the healthcare regulators, all the health ombudsmen, 4 medical experts, and now the court have told me that there's nothing wrong, and until somebody starts to accept this, standards to improve X-ray, CT scan and MRI reporting are not going to happen. Money is not going to be put into training clinicians so they identify the difference between osteoarthritis and tendinopathy. as I started by saying, sadly, the damage means that I do need to stay in accommodation close to the courts of justice. Believe me, I don't want to protest. It's hard work. It's disillusioning. It's horrible. But if this is the only way I can highlight that people need to be saved and that NHS is not learning lessons, then this is what I'm going to do. Please support me so we can protect other people. Thank you so much.